relaxed, calm. Tuning the emotions.
Do you agree or disagree?
I agree.
I'm open.
I don't know.
Do you agree or disagree, Jesse?
I agree.
What was there for each of us?
Now, each of yours
Each of
rang like
yours.
bells in my head.
Mm.
And it was like, yes, those. Yes, that one. But no, not that one. Like, nope, I'm not going to say that it's the same thing.
Mhm.
Ah, and it was like, hmm, there's mine. And I don't even remember. No, I said agree. I said agree. Yes. So agree was, I said, look, I was doing it as I agreed with each of your words. So I can say with confidence, I could trust that I could agree because that's what I was just doing. That's what showed up. That was what was for me and my answer when I paused after you asking me that amazing question.
Mhm.
Thank you, Will.
Mm. Just, just giving it back to you, Jesse. Thank you. It's like a boomerang. What we send out comes back. And tuning emotions is the same. What we send out comes back. How in tune am I with? How in tune are you with the emotions you're sending out? What emotions do you choose to send out today? I choose curiosity and wonder from a space of peace and calm.
You know, I'm in a my awareness bucket on this. Um, that you asked a second question before everyone answered your first one.
Mm.
I don't know how that would make you feel.
Oh, yeah. invalidated.
But you made sure you answered your second question too, before anyone else answered your first one.
Yeah, because look at me.
Hmm. And so as you look at me, it was like in that role, what was that look at me? What role were you playing?
Child,
Mm,
6 years
okay.
old.
Okay. Cool. I disagree.
Oh,
Look at me. Look at me. Ain't that the jester move?
Look at me, leader. Look at me, leader. Growing up leader.
oh,
From the child's perspective, probably, but no, look at me lead. See the world, YouTube's live right now, right? So the worlds
yeah,
are there. And so it's like, oh, look at me, Mr. Professional. Let me show you.
yeah.
Watch me. Anyone else? So I'll open it up to the other observers in the gallery, observers.
Oh, I missed the conversation. My son just came in, so that's why I went.
Okay, so I was here and I heard the same as you, Jess.
But he actually went.
Sorry, Heinz.
Oh, he actually went out and painted for 35 minutes today. I'm proud of him.
Oh,
Oh,
good.
that's amazing. Let's celebrate that with you.
Yeah, I celebrate any win, anything he sort of just does. That makes me happy
Great.
because it shows that he actually is starting to look inward, not outward. Then I had to explain to him about awareness, that you can't do something about something you aren't aware of.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the first thing. But it ain't funny because sometimes a hard cookie. But I support him.
Mm. I'm just sitting in the experience of a parent's sense of, oh, there's so many words around it. But when you observe your child, being able to link into their own impetus, because I think the impetus is, I'm not sure whether the impetus is always there, and it's just whether we're ready to receive it or not. But when you watch, it's like, I mean, that American phrase of being launched, right? It's a really good phrase, that.
Being launched.
Yeah, I really like that phrase. And, we there are many moments in which we get launched. So, I just sitting with the joy of that. And then at the same time, I'm aware that there's something else that we were working with that's hanging, and I would like to just circle back to that. And I'll circle back to what I wrote to you in the chat the other day, Will, with this bad spelling where I put couch instead of coach.
Don't
What did you
get
say there again? You kind of
coach.
cut out for a sec.
I bring back the
Chat?
statement that I put in the chat the other day for you, where I said to you, focus on being Will and
Yeah.
not being a coach.
Yeah, there you go. Just be Will. Just be Will.
Yeah.
His Will is, yeah, Will is a beautiful person. Just be Will. Don't try to be something else.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting? Even my name, like my name is William, but I like being called Will.
Mm.
And like Will is the mechanism by which we assign the power. But here comes the coach.
So will use his will, or will he do something else?
Yeah, exactly. Will he focus?
Nice one, Heinz. That was a beautiful play on words.
Use his will. Just be Will. Use your will. Just be Will. Thank you, Allison and Heinz.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome. We'll send you a bill, $5,000.
Okay,
Ain't that
$5,000,
the amount,
man.
Jesse?
Who do we send it to?
We need that
Heinz,
charge. We need that charge.
Heinz,
Well,
you must start keeping a tab, because
yeah.
you've earned 5,000 a few times now already, and we need to know.
Yeah.
We need to build up a
Well,
tab for that piece of land, right?
Yeah.
To me, it's just number. I don't really care about money. That's something I never
Yeah.
thought of. I know I'm not rich, but I never seen myself as poor until I realized, well, I only get about $2,000-3,000 a month, but it's enough for me to have roof over my head, have clothes on my back, have food in my stomach. What more do I need? So I don't feel poor until I see people buying a watch for $20,000. I just
Oh,
think,
it's ridiculous.
are they insane? What does that watch do? Does it clean the toilet or something? What's so special about that watch? And I realized, well, it's just rich people waste more money on material stuff.
Yeah.
When I want a holiday, well, I take down and visit my brother. That's a holiday to me.
Yeah.
Well, my life is a holiday because I'm early retired, so I don't have much to do, but I figure something out each day. Yesterday, I had to clean the drain in the sink, and I pulled that apart and put it back together, even though I had to use 5 or 6 tries to put it back together because it kept on dripping water for some reason. But where there's a will, there's a way. I just
Oh,
kept on
yes.
doing it.
Yes, there is.
Just kept on doing it because I know I can do that, because it's sort of one of my educations, sort of, but my education is in metal pipes and welding and on ships. So it's a bit different doing it with small water pipes and plastic. I enjoyed when water pipes were in metal. It was way easier to work with than that plastic. But then I've seen that they made something new that's sort of like, not in pipes, it's sort of like something stretchy, but just can stretch and bend like you want. And I thought, that's smart. That's intelligent. compared to what we have now.
Mm.
And like we said yesterday, any work you do, you get to pat yourself.
So, Jesse, I realized why I asked the second question now so quickly. Well, anyways, I realized why I asked the second question was impatience. I waited for an answer and no one gave one. And then my train of thought went elsewhere and I asked a new question. And then my impatience prompted me to answer my own question rather than waiting patiently for others to respond.
And what does
So, yeah.
patience mean to you, Will?
Patience means being calm and waiting and being respectful.
So for me, patience is all of those things, plus listening.
Plus listening.
Listening to myself in that silence, and listening for what comes from others, if anything. And
not expecting.
Yep.
that's part of it,
And
yes.
allowing other people to take the time they need.
Yes.
And also allowing what is there just to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Allowing the possibilities. That's how we grow.
There you go.
Allowing. Awesome. Thank you, guys. So there's always a learning if I'm teachable, we're teachable, if you're teachable.
Yeah. I think Jesse probably has shared this statement in the group, but I just come back to that statement from the training in the Marines about slow is smooth and smooth is fast.
So slow is fast.
Ultimately, yeah.
Yeah, and often fast is slow because you make a mistake here, you make a mistake there, then you need to do it over.
Yeah.
Slows you down.
It's like a tortoise and the hare, the
Yeah,
race,
yeah.
right?
because it's steady.
Yeah.
slow is way easier to flow also.
Yes, I think so.
So does anyone else want to share what they experienced when asked whether they agree or disagree?
I'll recap my experience. So my context was a bit different to being asked it in the group. And for me, it always makes a difference. Perhaps not to what I ultimately think, but certainly what I ultimately experience in my body. And so I got asked the question, do you agree or do you disagree? And I'm waiting. With what? Was my question to myself. And then I started to giggle and I said, is this your pregnant pause? Waiting to see if there's an, what's the reaction going to be? So the experience for me was one of delight, of fun, of a game. And at the same time, I immediately thought of another context in which it would be a brilliant question to ask, because I could see how it could immediately engage people. So it was a merry dance, I would say. And an aha.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't know if my answer was avoiding an answer or if it's just what it is, because I'm open. I'm open to both agreeing and disagreeing. It depends.
Mm.
And it's ever since I joined this, I've been open to new perspectives. So
Mm.
I don't even need to agree or disagree with it because it's other people's point of view.
And it's like, yes, that's the automatic I'm going for.
To be open, Jess.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
To open to all. And it's like I'm still working there.
Mm.
Yeah, I still can do better.
Mm.
And,
I'm saying because I'm thinking of myself, not of you.
well, yeah, I mean, we all can when we're willing to, right? Look at it. That's why it's a journey, not a destination.
Exactly. That's life. Life is a journey. Yeah, you might reach some destination, but as soon as you reach one destination, you need to go further or you'll just be stuck.
Yes, and I would add, it's a series of destinations. Right? I mean, you can have them all together at the same time, if that's what you want. But I think our bodies, until we are so high frequency that everything is let go of, and until then, I think our bodies do need an orientation and an end, like Will talks about the end result. We do need to keep that in focus from time to time, right? To remind ourselves that's where we're heading. Because that's inherent in the question, well, what do you want?
Yeah, that's the biggest question to me. What do I want? I have no idea. So I'm being happy with everything I have, enjoying the moment, because every time I feel like when I make plans, something always happens, and then I sort of get out of my focus because then I'm focusing on the plan. It's focusing on the destination instead of the journey.
And it needs a soft focus on the destination.
Ooh, that's a place I need to get better.
I had a lovely conversation with somebody yesterday. And it's a reflection for me just in terms of what we're talking about now. So they wanted to manifest something, and it was a challenge. And this has been going on for a few months. And then I heard in the voice that she really, really wants to do this now. So I said, okay, great. Let's do it. And there was silence on the other side. And I said to her, what did you feel when I said, let's do it? And she said, I felt you being there with me. And I said, how does that feel for you? And she said, that feels more doable. And I said, okay, so how come it felt like you had to do it alone before? And so then it was a conversation about that, about the being alone or being together. And then where was she accountable and where would I be accountable? In other words, just looking at the practicality of it. What would she be doing and what would I be doing? And how comfortable she felt with all of that. And then in the end, I said to her, what is the feeling that you want at the end? Because the goal that she has is very easy to relapse on. And so I didn't want her to fixate on that. Didn't want her to fixate on the doing. I wanted her to remember what it is that she wanted to feel like in the end. And that's what I mean by that soft focus, right? Just remember that's what you're going for. And that's what you're saying, Heinz, is that you used to set a goal for yourself and then things would somehow get derailed and you would end up not feeling the way that you wanted to feel, even if you managed to do what you wanted to do. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, sort of like that. It's like wanting to put up a board with a nail, and instead of hitting the board, you hit your finger.
Shit. Yeah.
Well, when you get the board up there and it sits there, you'll still have pain in your finger. So it wasn't as satisfying as just hitting the nail.
So then I go back to what we work often in the group is the constriction of tension as opposed to the expansion of intention.
It's more of being instead of doing.
Yes.
So it's sort of, I need to mix the things I'm doing because I'm being happy. I just need to put that focus into what the end result is going to be and stay that way through it without shifting my focus into doing.
And yet somehow the doing just happens, right? It gets done.
Yep. It's sort of like what I did with the sink yesterday. I was being happy most of the time when I didn't put my focus on it.
Yep.
So I still don't have no idea what I actually want, what end result I'm actually looking for. I'm just being happy being here.
But that's your end result. There's no better end result than that in my book.
And sometimes people say, well, don't you want something big? No, not
No.
really.
No.
No. I don't have any big plans. I think if I got $1 million, I would probably just buy a cheap house and let the rest of the money be. I don't think I would go back to spending money because I don't really like spending money anymore.
And you could use it as a means to create more happiness for others too.
Yeah.
Like share the happiness that you're experiencing.
That's probably why T and me are looking for that piece of land to just have a place where we can just grow nature and have children or young people or whatever come and actually experience what it is to be part of nature.
That's a beautiful
why
vision, Heinz.
Heinz, that's why I was saying that you need to start writing down how much you earn in the group, so that when you go to the bank, you can tell them.
Start making it, eh?
No, you're all my friends. It's like they say, normally I kill people for money. No, but you're my friends. I'll kill you for nothing.
And what if we as a group found a way to support Heinz in his vision? What if there was that possibility that we could find a way as a collective to bring that vision into a reality? Just what if? That's all. That's all I'm saying.
I realized things ain't. I always thought Denmark is very expensive, but then I realized, oh my God, what people spend of money on a house somewhere. I think if I found a cheap place here, I could buy it for less than $100,000 with lots of land and everything, because me and she live in Denmark in something that's called Nordjylland. It's the sort of the cheapest place in Denmark because it's just lots of nature and everybody wants to be near a city now. I see when you go to Sjælland, where Copenhagen is, an apartment or 1 or 2 bedrooms is over what, $200,000.
Mm. That's
And
much
here you
more.
could
Yeah.
here you could get a whole farm.
Yeah. That's great.
So it's all about what you call it, where you're placed. So I actually think I'm a great place, and I like that there aren't that much people around. I like nature. I like being able to breathe, sort of.
Mm.
Not that I can't be in a big city. I just think it would be more suffocating in one way. But it's probably also my automatic. I've lived here, what, 47 years in Nordjylland. I lived 45 years in Frederikshavn and then moved to Aalborg, where I almost lived 2 years now. And it's the 5th largest city in Denmark. But I don't walk into the city. I always walk out of the city when I walk somewhere. I think I've been in the city 5 times since I moved here. So I don't feel like I live in a big city, even though I do.
Mm.
But again, it's all about perspective.
Mm.
I feel my daily walk, I can walk up to a park, and in that park there is a small forest. It's maybe 20 or 30 trees max wide, but it's enough when you're in it, it feels like being in a forest.
Mm.
I have a feeling that really helps me ground a lot. And to recite cheese words, I'm feeling better and better for each day.
Mm. Mm.
But I have a feeling that's also because I choose to be happy. Like I tell my son, I have two songs always running inside. I told you guys also. One is circus music, and the other one is mana mana. How can you walk around being unhappy when you've got those two songs playing constantly inside you? And I feel the longer it goes since I moved here, 3 weeks after I moved out here, I quit my medication and I quit smoking weed. So it's sort of it's the first time in my life I ever moved anywhere. I've done anything just for my sake. Just doing everything for my own. I actually got 2 extra rooms. One is my son's and the other one is just was supposed to be the parrot's, but I haven't found a new parrot I actually want yet. And I sort of holding myself a little back. Do I really want it now, or do I want to wait till I sort of figured out what is that thing I want? So I won't let the parrot suffer because I figure out, hey, I want that, and it takes up my time. I gotta make sure because a parrot is at least 10, 12 years up to 117 years, depending on which parrot you choose. Then
Mm.
it's can be a lifetime choice.
Mm.
Wouldn't the parrot suffer whether it's with you or without you?
Mm, depends. Imagine being in a great home for 20 years and remembering everything, and all of a sudden you had to move.
Mm.
I'm watching a lot of animal things about parrots, so I actually looking at them differently now than when we got our first parrots. Look at them as much more responsibility. They say a dog you need to give what 2, 3 hours of attention each day. A parrot wants 6 to 8 out of the 12 hours. It's up.
Yeah,
It's
they
like
they're very
having a
social
child.
animals. That's why the pirates had them walking around on their shoulders all day long, right?
Yeah, they're very clever.
Oh yes.
I've seen one now that has over 8,000 words or something, and it's
Wow.
and I think, well, as engaged as I am with my son right now, but maybe I need to take a little more time to sort of figure out when is the best moment
Mm.
for it, not for me, because every moment is a great moment to me.
Yeah, Allison, you got your answer.
I got my answer. And what answer did I get, Jesse?
What was the question?
Hmm.
I love hearing you and your end result, Heinz. Just like just being happy. Like it's beautiful to witness. Yeah.
The belly laugh.
That's what I'm building. I'm building love for myself so I can love someone else. Just
Mm.
as much as I have, I will give it. That's why I'm probably a little annoyed with my son sometimes that he won't receive it.
And you can just keep showing it, you know?
Yeah, I know, but ooh,
Okay,
No
so
expectation.
Heinz, I was listening to a yoga teacher the other day, and I just loved this. He was being asked about falling in love, what is it, and all of that. And he eventually got to a point which really, caught my attention. And he asked the person, what do you think is really going on? Your experience of falling in love, or the person that is on the other side of that? He didn't use the words on the other side. Those are Jesse's words, but it was the same kind of thing.
no, I realized falling in love is not for me. I tried it once and it was definitely on the edge of insanity for me.
Yeah,
I like it, I like him a lot, and then I fall and get up, and then I love him. That weeks of falling in love, that's insanity.
yeah,
It's projecting an image onto somebody that no one can.
exactly. And that was his point.
Oh, well, I had to figure that out the hard way, and I realized never again. Never am I gonna spend weeks on this stuff. I'm gonna like him, and I'm gonna like him more, and I'm gonna learn more, and then it'll just happen.
Mm.
And I found that giving your heart away, people always say, "Oh, it can heartache." Well, if you don't use it, it'll be even worse. Because if somebody crush it, well, you can always put it back together. It depends on how much you invested in it.
Yeah.
I
And are
really
you giving
enjoy.
it away, or are you sharing it?
Yeah, exactly. I'm sharing. That's a new way of looking at it. Thanks for that perspective. It's probably that I'm sharing it. I'm not giving anything away. It's
Mm-hmm.
a great thing. Like RJ told us that he's giving his love to us, but it doesn't mean he has less love for himself.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You have unlimited support of it.
Mm.
Oh, it just depends on your perspective of it. And just because you made somebody feel good and then they sort of made you feel bad, that doesn't mean that you should think less of what you've done for them. You should be happy that you made them feel good.
Yeah.
Be proud of yourself that you actually made a person feel happy about themselves. That you two weren't meant to be, well, that's their perspective.
Mm.
And I'm learning a lot from you guys. Like, I'm not giving it away, I'm sharing it. Ooh, yeah. This is why I enjoy this so much. I get a lot of new words to stuff I only knew how to feel,
Mm.
putting words to emotions.
Mm.
gonna head out, guys. Hope you have an amazing day.
Have a great day, Will.
Thank you.
Good to
Allison.
be with you.
Yeah, you
Bye.
too.
Bye.
See you, Heinz. See you, Jesse.
Bye, Will. Well, 2 more days to close out 2 years and start 3 years.
Yeah. I remember when we hit 1 year,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't seem so long ago.
Mm-mm.
Time always goes better when you're having fun with it, having a good time.
Yes, it does.
Imagine
Mm.
somebody having to catch up how many days they would have to spend on YouTube.
Yeah, yes, that momentum.
Yeah.
Yeah, velocity. Or just be here every day. Yeah. Or do something like it. And I think like where you went, Heinz, is what this next year will be aimed towards, is in the creating. Like what's after the neutral?
Mm. Yeah, I figured out something that you can't in the neutral, you aren't that creative, but you aren't destructive either.
Yep.
So if you
Okay, so
just remain a little positive, you can create a little at the time, but it's something that sticks together. Slow is faster. And then it goes from doing to being. Way easier when you do it like this constantly.
Yeah, I think we have to be in this position. You know, you have to get here before you can do what's next. And it's what we've done is a lot of the preparing, like 2 years of preparing ourselves for it. Like preparing for what? That's what I don't know, but I think it's in the flavor of creation.
Ooh. Then I'm not the only one who don't know.
certainly not.
That was a great verification. Because you always ask, and what do you want to do? What is your wish for this or something? Oh my God,
Yeah.
that's always the most tricky question you can ask.
We all have resistance to it.
Oh,
We all, so that's what we get to go through. Allison, how was being the conductor?
I didn't realize that I was.
here we go.
And now I'm immediately wondering about the song. Because for me, my automatic with the word conductor is the conductor of the orchestra.
Then the sound is.
That's a really good imitation, Heinz. That's fantastic. Yeah. It's such a good image. If you're a conductor of all your various proclivities and automatics and emotions.
And
You
you're
get to,
creating a
yeah,
symphony of life.
yes. And you get to sculpt a sculpture.
Mm.
Hmm.
I would like to share on the theme of symphony.
Mm.
I just have to find it. There it is. Imagine Fireside as a symphony, a place where each of us plays a unique part. Sometimes we're the audience, observing in quiet reverence as others share their truths. Other times we are the conductor, guiding the flow of our own experiences, setting the rhythm of our growth. And there are moments when we are the performer, vulnerable yet powerful, sharing our story, letting it resonate in the hearts of others. Here we practice together, refining the art of fully living, tuning our inner instruments. Each person's presence adds to the harmony, whether they're speaking, listening, or simply being. This isn't about hitting the right notes or following a scripted path. It's about embracing the complexity of life, the rest as much as the crescendos, the dissonance as much as the harmony. In Fireside, we invite you to be all parts of this symphony. When you are the audience, you'll practice deep listening, not as a passive observer, but as a vital part of the experience, holding space for others' truths. As the conductor, you'll learn to recognize your own rhythms, guiding yourself with compassion and awareness. And as the performer, you'll find the courage to step into the spotlight, knowing you're surrounded by support. Through this process, we begin to see that full living isn't about perfection or getting it right. It's about showing up in all our parts, from the quiet observer to the bold creator. It's about discovering that the pauses, the silence, and the waiting are as much a part of life's music as the notes themselves. It's about learning that true fulfillment doesn't come from isolated achievements, but from the shared collective resonance we create together.
Wow.
Wow.
That was
Question,
stunning.
Jessie. Do you
That
read
is,
adventures for your children? You have
yeah.
the perfect reading voice to tell adventure. You watch. You go with the moment like, wow.
That is
That was
beautiful writing,
beautiful.
Jesse. That was really, really stunning, and it describes every angle.
Wow.
Really love it.
And the way you read it, it's with all your heart.
Mm. Mm.
So if you're ready to step into this symphony of life, not as a solo act, seeking applause, but as a part of a greater harmony, we invite you to join us at Fireside. Here, we don't chase external answers. Instead, we explore the melody within, trusting that each note, each silence, each moment of uncertainty is part of the whole. This is our practice. Listening, playing, reflecting, and co-creating, all in the service of a life lived fully and harmoniously. It's the journey of becoming and uncovering the masterpiece already within us, just waiting to be heard, felt, and lived. We're all parts of the symphony. No matter where we're playing, observing, conducting, rehearsing.
Experimenting.
Mhm. Emotional tuning. That is the symphony that we practice here.
Mm.
It was really uplifting hearing you say those things.
Mm.
It was like, ah.
How long ago did you write all of that, Jess?
Just last night.
Whoa.
I'm not surprised if that is the case.
Wow.
But been training for several years.
Yes, I know. Well, it was well worth it, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a beautiful metaphor for how we gather as a symphony.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Now it's just attracting the audience.
Mm.
That's the next piece.
Mm.
Yeah. Creating the
What was
audience.
the name of Fireside today?
Emotional tuning.
Mm.
Emotional tuning. I'll advise people to listen to the last 20 minutes of this.
Exactly. That's like the most important part of any creation is right at the end. That's why patience matters.
Yes.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
gotta tell Will tomorrow he needs to listen to the last part. He tuned out 10 minutes too early or 15 minutes too early.
Mhm. Right. And it
Yeah.
was like I checked It was like, oh, do we scatter? Nope, not yet. It said, okay, so hang patiently in the silence, right?
Mm,
And then it was the urge. It's like, oh, it's time to share that. Oh, so
Wow.
I don't always go with it, right? I don't always listen, but
mm,
I did today.
mm.
Mm.
And Heinz, it's like you shared with us your desires and dreams and wants and wishes. It's like, have you ever shared them aloud anywhere else that long?
No,
There you go.
Mm.
So it's like, oh,
only
but
when
yet,
only when me and T are talking about our
good.
collective wishes, but
Yes.
not like this.
Yes. Yes. So it's, and so it's like, well, it is what we want. Why don't we?
Yeah.
Why aren't we like, that's the insanity of it. So when I said we have resistance to what we want, yeah, that's why when you ask, what do you want? People resist it because we just
Mm.
don't, we've told ourselves we can't have what we want. It is one of those already ingrained in us. And remember, whether you agree or disagree, right? It doesn't matter. I know we all have a part of it in us. We just need to be willing to look at it.
If the part you read up was played just as an intro on YouTube, we would have lots of people who would watch this every day.
Yeah.
I think so
No.
too.
Yeah. Me too. So yes, that's why I did it. Yeah. I was like, oh, it could be that, right? And it was like, oh, we all,
And then people would find out, well, it's one thing to be the audience. I would like to actually get in there and play an instrument, maybe even be the conductor once a while.
that's right. Yes.
It's
That's like,
it's opening to curiosity and wonder.
that's right. Hmm. Brilliant. That is such a brilliant idea.
Yes. Do you love curiosity and wonderment?
Hmm.
No.
Come and come and join us.
What's the worst that will happen? In a judge-free zone,
Ah,
expressing what is important to you. You're getting your inner voice out, letting go of the negativity around you and freeing your life. Like that is the risk you face.
Getting to know oneself and becoming aware of your pros and cons and actually being able to do something about it and have other people assist you in how to do it.
Now, now I don't want to make money off of you, but this
Oh,
ad costs money to make. So if
oh.
you click the link, just pay the $10 and you'll get access to all the whole symphony.
Mm,
hmm.
yeah.
I
It's
love
a
it.
one-time fee. Just pays for the ad so that we can gather more people.
Yep. And all of a sudden that ad would be on every 10 minutes because way too many have joined, so it's paying way too much.
Exactly. What's a bad problem to have, isn't it, Heinz?
Then
I
we'll
would
just
I
do
would take that. I will gladly accept that problem.
yeah.
Isn't that using the algorithm against itself for our benefit? Heck yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Only if they click the link, right? That's where they charge us. They can watch all this free ad time they want, but when they click the link, that's when they charge it. That's when I get charged.
yeah,
And I really, I look, it's hard for me to take the money because we're just helping them see it inside themselves. But
yeah.
it's like I feel guilty. Like I don't know how other coaches can charge, to do that.
Me neither. It's like Allison said her teacher told her, "Oh, so you want to be a prostitute?
Yeah, and it's like,
You're getting paid for telling people what they already know."
yeah, right. Like they have a place. I'm not like it's how we are orienting to them, which is what I'm not a fan of.
Mm.
So
And it's the ultimate. I mean, for me, it just speaks to the structure of society, and that was my teacher's point as well. Was
Yeah.
people should not have to pay for this.
yeah,
No.
yeah.
And they didn't 200 years ago when they sat around the fire.
Mhm.
There you go,
For
Hans.
for the 10,000 years before that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's only been the last couple of 100 years everything has sort of turned into money.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you've ever bought firewood at the grocery store, you know how much that costs.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's very sad.
That's kind of like what the ad is, right? The ad is our firewood. Costs
Yeah.
money to keep the fire going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
If you want to be part of the symphony, you got to bring an instrument
Yeah.
yeah,
And an
or
instrument costs money.
or knowledge or buy a ticket. Like it's everywhere in our society.
yeah.
Now, it doesn't mean it has to be that way. It's just the way that it is now.
And even me who is in the symphony, I would actually go click on that ad.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah.
I would love to pay for it to get more frequently.
Uh-huh. Well, you've got a $5,000 credit. We're just like Bitcoin. We're just making up currencies. That's all we're doing.
Oh, oh,
Yeah, I mean, it's a transaction, time for money, right? Mm.
yeah.
Google, YouTube says, I'm going to take your money when they click on your ad. And I'm saying, well, I don't want to take your money. So I want to give you all the information here. But if you do want to join us, because likely a lot of people will, this ad costs me money.
Yeah.
And
And
here, it's like,
people,
if you don't want to, great. None of us are out anything. Skip the ad
people could,
in 5 seconds and it's your choice.
yeah,
More than likely, you're not a person I want to be connected with around a campfire anyway. That's fine.
and people could really relate to that, that it's the ad that costs money because they know an ad costs money.
Yep,
And the ad is just information for people to figure out where the fireside is.
that's right. And if it's for them, like they're
Yeah.
showing they're willing. They're like, I'm willing to invest my time into this, my money. I really want to find out what that is. That's the type of person I want to sit next to in a fireside.
Me too. I really like the one Sindrell brought the other day. It's lots of people are actually great people, but they've been silenced by norms
Yeah,
that don't really exist. It's just something that's been created.
like that is what we're sharing, right? It's like we're seeing our norms.
Yeah.
And that's the only way to change them. So we're learning not only to see them, but then change them to towards what we want. Like that is, it's massively huge and simply simple.
Yep.
But the structure of society pulls us away from it because we have to keep the facade going. So we
Yep.
think. So we think. So this is my way of trying to bust it up.
And let's just say you chose the correct date to do it on election day.
Oh, right. It is election day today, isn't it?
Oh my
okay.
goodness, Heinz.
Yes.
So you sort of put our candidate in there. Hey, join us instead.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get it out today.
Ah, but
Heinz,
today is the
Mr.
recording.
Aggressive, like, listen to that, like velocity. Now all of a sudden he wants something done on his speed, huh?
No, I didn't say. I say the record. I mean, the recording was on election day.
Yes. Sorry, I put my meaning in your mouth.
Yeah, but I am aggressive. I'm ferociously calm.
Yes, it is a place of power.
Yeah.
Ah, wow, what a great fireside morning.
Yeah. You all have a blessed day.
Thank you. You too, Heinz.
Have a great day, you guys. Thank you
Thanks,
so
Allison.
much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Love and
Bye.
hugs. Bye bye.